Hello everyone. How are you doing today? Welcome to Learn English Live. And if it's your first time here, my name is Robin Shaw and I'm a Canadian teacher and I teach live every night. So welcome if it's your first time. Today's topic is gerunds. I spent the day researching gerunds and thinking, sorry, I'm reading the comments. Today I spent the day researching gerunds and thinking about an easy way to teach or talk about gerunds. But I tell you, it was difficult to prepare today's topic. So what usually, if it's your first time, this is what usually happens. Introduction time is now. I'll get into the topic in a few minutes. And then after the topic, I'll do an English Q&A. All right, so if it's your first time. I do an introduction period because what I find is a lot of people come late. But that's okay. All right. I'm just going to check the chat room to see who's here. And Diallo is always here early, and so is Layla and Ari, Duck YouTube. Oh, Isna. Okay. Rhoda. Whoa. Heng Tong, Prakar, Ziad, Seema, Grace. Yeah, no cap today. I don't know if that person came back. She was asking, I think it was a she. She was asking, because yesterday I wore a cap. She wanted me to take off my cap. Excuse me. Dila Sanjid Jafe. Welcome back. And Kang Wansang. Good, good. Duck YouTube. When you cut your beard, you are so handsome. Well, I'm not trying to be handsome. That's not really important to me. Oh, there you are, Maruthu. There's no cap. I think you asked for no cap. This is no cap. Win is here. Anfal, Omar, Chris. Hello, Omar, Chris. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. Gabriela Montero. Hell. Are you warning me something, Gabriella? Maybe you should say hell. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Hello. Hello is better than hell. Hell. Actually, I made that mistake today, too. I was writing a text to someone and I said hell, but I corrected that. Gabby. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay, well, it's time for the commercial. Don't worry, Gabriella. I was just joking. Gabby, welcome. Well, I got to give a 30-second commercial about the channel. So remember, guys, it takes a lot of work to be here every night. I don't get any money from YouTube because this channel is not monetized. It doesn't make any money. There's no advertisements on this channel. And I don't want to put advertisements on this channel, but if I have to, I have to in the future. But if you have value for an English teacher every night, please consider supporting with a few dollars every month. Buy me a coffee, buy me a dinner, buy me a car if you really love learning English from me. And of course, I understand not everyone has money or a job, but there's other ways to help. And I'd very appreciate any help. Of course, you like the video, like it. If you learn something, comment under the videos and let other people know. Share it in your Facebook feed. Tell people to come watch the English teacher every night. Duck YouTube. I can't see YouTube. Everything is in the links below. Everything is in the links, the description of this video. You can find everywhere how to contact me, how to support me. It's very easy to contact me every day. It's very easy to support me. All right, so today's topic, gerunds and infinitives. Because if we talk about gerunds, we have to talk about infinitives too, because they are connected. Okay. Before I start the topic, I'll just make sure I'm caught up in the chat. If you want to participate in the chat, you got to log into YouTube, okay? And please, it's a live stream. The point of live stream is I can talk to the people in the chat. Okay, Shiham is here. Nasser, welcome. Grace, seeing Robin's live stream always makes me happy. Well, Grace, you live in Korea. I live in Korea. You can see me live. Argentina. I hope to go to Argentina soon. All right, let's get started. Oh, okay. So before I get into what is a gerund, what is an infinitive, I'm going to explain all that tonight. I'm just going to give a little bit of notes of my feeling about studying this topic. So if you want to master using gerunds, that takes years. There's no quick way to master gerunds. So number one there, it takes a long time. It's a very complicated part of English. Yangnesh 1 hour class? No, my classes are usually about 30 minutes. And then after that is English Q&A. Reina, hello. All right, so number one, mastering gerunds takes years. It's hard. I know gerunds are hard. The reason it's hard because there's hundreds of different situations of how we. There's 20. I think there's about 20 different ways we use gerunds in English, and they're all complicated. And it takes a lot of practice to know each situation and what gerund, if we should use a gerund in that situation. So I don't mean to be so negative, guys, but this is hard stuff. And number three, you must have more exposure to input. Input is stuff coming in to your brain, and that's reading and listening. So reading more, reading a lot, you're going to see a lot of gerunds in reading, okay? And your brain is going to pick up on when to use a gerund and when to use infinitive. So you need a lot of exposure to listening to hearing the radio, TV, movies, talking to native speakers, how they use gerunds. You need more exposure, all right? And memorization is not the answer. So sitting down with, hundreds of ways or hundreds of different gerunds and which situation and trying to memorize each situation, that can help, but that is not going to make you master them. When I say master them, I don't mean just memorizing. I mean you know it. You know how to use it. You know exactly when you hear it. That is mastering them. So today's topic, because gerunds is so complicated, I could not talk about all the ways we use gerunds. So I just chose a few of the ways we use gerunds, the common ways, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. It's just so complicated. There's so many different ways. But you can do it, guys. Reading and listening, getting that input, a lot of it will help you to master the gerunds. Let's see. 2 hours. I'm not doing 2 hours today, Duck YouTube. Ivan, hello from Indonesia. Okay, hello. I will talk about gerunds. I will not clear all concepts of gerunds. I will give a basic idea of gerunds. Tika's here. So output is, yeah, speaking and writing. Well, of course, good point, Grace. You get the input, but output is also important. Practice using gerunds. That's important too. Gabby, I have my pen and paper. You don't need pen and paper. Just keep watching the video over and over and over. Al Hadu Yusuf, hello. Layla, you look tired. I'm sure you spent a lot of time preparing this lesson. Layla, I'm always tired. All right. So what is a gerund? I think most of you probably know. You've seen it in your English class. You're using that. It's a noun made from a verb by adding ing. So there's a few examples there. Her favorite hobby is reading. I enjoy reading. The best thing for your health is, well, this is a negative one, not smoking. All right, so reading, smoking. These are all gerunds. It's a noun with ing. Yeah, cooking is fun. Yes. You got the gerund cooking. All right, and it's very important in this video we know what the infinitive is. Of course, an infinitive is the to form of the verb. So the examples are to learn is important. He wants to learn. I decided not to go. There's a negative there too. So the confusion, a lot of confusion is, do I use gerund or do I use infinitive? And sometimes they mean the same thing and sometimes they don't mean the same thing. So we'll talk about this tonight. So those are the two words you need to know. Gerund, verb ing, acts like a noun, and the infinitive, to verb. Today is grammar class. Yes. I'm American. Well, I'm not American. I'm Canadian, but my English would be close to American. Kong one song. I like, save the questions a little bit later. We'll get into the questions. Lots of people from Argentina. Kiramat is here. All right, gerunds or infinitive. Which are better? Well, native speakers like to use gerunds. I like to use gerunds. So it sounds more natural when we're using gerunds in sentences. We can't always use gerunds, and I'll talk a little bit about that today. But we want to try to use gerunds whenever we can. And Carolina, how can I recognize the gerund and to infinitive? Carolina, I'll teach you some tricks tonight. There's some easy ways to recognize, but there's a lot of ways you don't know. That's why reading and listening is very important. Because you have to learn this, I can teach basic, but to really master it, you have to learn it naturally, okay? You can't memorize the rules. There's hundreds of different rules of gerunds. You can't memorize them all, and every time you're listening or speaking, you're trying to go through the rules. No, it's not going to work like that. You gotta get a lot of exposure to the gerunds. All right. Every ing words are gerunds? No. So let's give a couple examples. My assistant. So words ending in ing can be gerunds, which I'm talking about now, but they could also be something, a verbal noun and a participle. So there's other ways to use ing. That makes it more complicated. And I'll talk about that later. All right, so learning is important. Grammatically, that is correct. To learn is important. Grammatically, that is correct. But in speaking, casually, learning is important. We want to use the gerund in this case. All right, so I try not to focus on subject and object, but for this case, I have to focus on the object of a sentence. If you don't know what the object of the sentence is, then this is going to be more difficult for you. So just look at the statement there. The main verb in the sentence determines whether you use a gerund or an infinitive. So the main verb in my examples is enjoy and want. So there are rules. There are a lot of rules for all the verbs, whether you can use a gerund or an infinitive or both. And you gotta, well, like I say, there's two choices: to keep reading and listening, to naturally learn the rules, or to memorize all the verbs, and if they work with gerunds. All right, so he enjoys swimming, requires a gerund. You like I said, native speakers, we don't want to say he enjoys to swim. He enjoys swimming, and he wants. If we're using wants, he wants swimming. Doesn't work like that. Surely wants is going to be used. He wants to swim. So each verb, there's lists and lists of verbs, which verbs require gerund, and there's lists of which verbs require infinitive. I don't have the lists here. You can find those on Google. So let's focus on the verb plus the gerund. So again, gerunds must follow some verbs. Like remember. I remember telling her yesterday. And quit. She quit worrying about the problem and the kitchen. The kitchen needs cleaning. Those verbs must use gerunds. If you say I remember to tell her yesterday, that doesn't work. She quit to worry. That doesn't work. And the kitchen needs to clean. No, that doesn't work. So these verbs right here in these sentences, all right, you must use the gerund. And there's verbs that you can only use the infinitive. So infinitives must follow some verbs. I want to study. Well, you're already confused. Let's go, where was that? Back here at this example, he wants to swim. Remember, want, we're seeing it twice now, so you're starting to learn want is infinitive. I want to study Spanish. Well, Yusuf, you're changing the grammar. Oh, you're just asking, I remembered. That's another grammar rule, Yusuf. Yeah, a lot of you are asking other grammar rules. It's hard to do that while I'm teaching gerund. Save that for the end, Yusuf. I'll explain it there. So I want to study Spanish. You can't say I want studying Spanish. Doesn't work. Yeah, Yagnesh, grammar's so complicated. Don't study it. Nancy seems to be disappointed. Nancy seems being disappointed. It doesn't work. And we love to scuba dive. We love scuba diving. That could work, but a native speaker probably going to put, we love to. We love to do something. For Hantu, how much did I miss? Well, it could be a lot you missed because this is complicated. Go plus a gerund. If you see go, we want to use a gerund, especially with recreational activities and sports. We're always going, let's go swimming, let's go camp, or they go camping, we go skiing. All right, when you see that go, that's a good clue that it's going to be a gerund after that. I hope you're remembering these rules because I'm going to test you later. Prepositions is another clue. Gerunds are used after prepositions. They admitted to committing the crime, and because you can't have that to is not for the verb. Admitted to committing the crime. Jenny made up for forgetting my birthday. He is thinking about studying abroad. So in this case, we have prepositions before the verb, so it has to be, we have to decide, is it infinitive or gerund? If it's after preposition, it's always a gerund. So we got go, remember these rules, go, gerund, and after the preposition, gerund. Yeah, Kim Ji-hoon, I know you're here. I can see you. You don't have to keep repeating. If my students are watching, coming into the chat room to say your name is not participation. That is bothering me because I'm working now, guys. All right. And this is making it more confusing. Verb plus a gerund, verb plus infinitive. A lot of the times they have this same meaning, or not exactly the same meaning, but very similar meaning. So sometimes the gerund form and the infinitive form have almost the same meaning. She likes swimming, she likes to swim. Okay, so both of those would be very common ways of saying from a native speaker. It's getting complicated, gerunds. There's so many ways, and I didn't even talk about all the ways. There you go. Sometimes they have different meanings. Sometimes the gerund form and the infinitive form have different meanings. So in these two sentences, very common sentences in English, I regret informing you that your brother died. Okay, it's a very bad sentence. I regret to inform your brother died. So the meanings of these sentences are very different. The first one, I regret informing you, is I wish I didn't tell you. That's the meaning of the first sentence. I regret informing you that your brother died. So I wish I didn't tell you. I wish I never told you your brother died. And the second sentence, I regret to inform your brother died, means I'm sorry I have to tell you your brother died. Confused? The point here is you got to be very careful, because sometimes with the verb, like regret, the gerund and the infinitive are very different. We're going to look at this later in the practice. Here we are, practice. So I talked a little bit about gerunds. Now I want you guys to tell me what is, dialo. I know dialo. There's no, I spent all day trying to simplify how to teach gerunds, but dialo, try the practice. Maybe the practice can help you. I see all your answers. Oh, David's here. Oh, we got a lot of people. Oh, sorry, it's very funny. When I'm talking about gerunds, you guys are very quiet. You're probably, what's happening? But as soon as I have the practice, you're all taking the guess. Well, the best answer here is Grace. Grace, because actually this one is okay. If we say she continued talking, she continued to talk. So this was easy one, but as I said earlier, foreigners will generally want to use the gerund, but both are okay. Both are okay. So for this one, it didn't matter if you said talking or to talk, because you're right. Both are okay. Layla, both are okay, as she says. Let's get a little more difficult. Yay! Well, not so difficult. Practice 2. She asked. Practice 2, both are not okay. She asked to leave. She asked leaving. When speaking, gerunds are more natural. Yes, we want to try, whenever we can use a gerund, we should use a gerund. But we can't always use a gerund. Yeah, I can see your guys' answer. To leave, to leave, to leave. To leave, guys. Duck YouTube. Well, I'm going to move. Yep. She asked to leave. All right, so this is a case we must use the infinitive there, to leave. Because she asked leaving just doesn't make sense. No, Heejung. She asked to leave. We have to say she asked to leave. So ask is a verb that we want to use the infinitive after. Both don't make sense. Practice 3. Yangnesh. Yeah, after never, you're probably going to use ing. Yes, Yangnesh. Both. It is possible both, but not really. Not really. As I taught you earlier, we have go and we have an activity. And when you have go and an activity, we want to use the gerund. Go skating, go fishing, go skating, stuff like that. Any activity, we want to use the go. They go to skate. technically you could say that, but it would sound a little bit awkward. We want to use the gerund after go. Go skating. All right, practice 4. Grace, just wait on the questions. Everyone wait on the questions. Let's get through the practice, because I expect 1,000 questions on gerunds. Yeah, Kang Won-sang, you are correct. So yeah, this one is tricky because they're both possible, but they mean very different things. Very different things. So when we have the verb stop, got to be careful with stop, because he's stopped the smoke means he's walking and he stopped and he started smoking. He stopped smoking means he stopped smoking. All right. So the first sentence means he's still smoking. He stopped walking, started to smoke. And the second sentence means he stopped smoking. All right. So both of those are correct, but they mean very different things. Yeah. Oh, Karina Patrician. Hello. Farhad. Hello. All right. Let's go on to 5. I'll answer questions later. Duck YouTube, both. It's not both. Duck YouTube, you have to choose one. I think Farhad has a little bit of delay in the live stream. Some people have delays in the live stream, so they're answering questions. But Farhad, you're correct. All right, so the key there is the on, a preposition. We have the preposition there, and when we have that preposition, we have to use a gerund. So most of you are right. Whenever you have a preposition, after the preposition is the gerund. Okay, number 6. Okay, you're reading both. To read. Reading, both are okay, maybe. Both are possible, both. Both, all right. I think we got enough answers. And Jose is looking at it like a good grammar person. Reading is your subject. Reading helps you learn English. Reading helps you learn English. I guess if someone said to read helps you learn English, that sounds very awkward. A native speaker is always going to use reading. But you know, reading at the beginning, reading helps you learn English. All right, the next one. Yeah, he Junior confused because you guys have to know all the verbs. You have to know, there's no rule to follow. Like there's some rules to follow, but most of the time you have to know the verb and how it is connected to either gerund or infinitive. And you know there's hundreds and hundreds of verbs, thousands of verbs. And how are they connected to, do we use infinitive or gerund? You have to know each one. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Ziad says both, doing, to do, both, doing, forgot. Oh, he's... yeah, you know, forgot to. Both. Talking. Oh, Gabby's. Well, all right, let's get this over with. Both are okay, but they mean very different things, okay? I forgot to do my homework means the teacher gave me homework, but I forgot. I didn't do it. I forgot doing my homework can mean I did my homework, but I forgot I did my homework. They mean different things. Practice 8. Layla, I don't think you got, nobody got it tonight. Even I don't get it. There's so many rules. Well, I know it naturally. But I know it naturally, but you guys, to study this stuff, wow, it's hard. Yeah, I think David. Remember, what is the native speaker going to say? You got the big clue of go. And native, after that go, we're going to use jogging. We're going to use that go. We're going to use a gerund. That's your clue right there. Let's go. Let's go jogging. Let's go swimming. Let's go shopping. Sheham, but. King, SES, hello. Native speakers know the difference between doing homework and to do homework when they speak. Well, what are your sentences, Grace? You can't just say doing homework and to do homework. What are your sentences you're trying to use? They are doing homework, so it's or doing homework is fun. To do homework is fun. You would say doing homework is fun. You can say to do homework. That would be depends on your sentence structure, Grace. Depends on your sentence structure. I'm trying to avoid subject object in this PPT because I didn't want to confuse everyone. But I think everyone's still confused. All right, practice 9. She wants. No, only one of them is okay. Only one of them. Both doesn't work. Both don't work. Sorry. Both don't work. That's 29. Now again, we have the verb want. We've seen want before. Where did we see it? We saw it on this page. We saw want before. He wants to learn. And then we saw it on this page. He wants to swim. So we saw it twice before, and twice before it used the infinitive. So we always use the infinitive with want. So that's the third time we saw it in this slide. You guys, you should know forever now, want. I want to eat food. All right, this is the last one. Okay, your answers are coming in. I think most of you got it now. All right, so yeah, number 10. We have the preposition there. With is a preposition, so we have to use the gerund after the preposition. So there would be a rule for this sentence. With go and prepositions, those are easy rules. Okay, guys, now I'm going to repeat. I only talked about a few of the rules or situations. There are so many different rules and situations for studying gerunds. It's complicated. And as you guys know my philosophy, the best way to master gerunds is not to study lists of verbs matching them with their gerund or infinitive. The easiest way and the most efficient way to master gerunds is to read, guys. If you read a lot, you read every day, you will naturally learn and your brain will be quick to remember the rules of when we use the gerunds, how we connect it to which sentence will, which verb will be followed by a gerund, which verb will be followed by infinitive. Because as you're reading, you're going to see the patterns, because it's a pattern. All right, so our task here, and I'm scared to ask this because there's so many ways to write gerunds. Practice writing sentences using gerunds. So let's see what you got. So every sentence you have ing. Watching your English class is really helpful. Yes. Jose, Lucio, Andrade. I wanna go to see you. Yeah, so go to see you. Usually go to. When you're going somewhere, travel to, go to. Well, you're sent to this go. It's not a recreational activity, Grace. So go fishing. But if you go somewhere, like you travel somewhere, we are usually going to. I want to go to Busan. Or I will go to Busan. He is fast at typing. Yes. I like drinking coffee. Yes. I enjoy listening. Whoa. Listening is very, very special because you need listening to. That's going to use listening to. Traveling gives you a lot of experience. Yes. I keep learning English. Yes. I will be doing good. I will be doing good. Yeah, in the future. Reading. I want to see you. There's no gerund and I want to see you, but you're using infinitive. That's fine. I want to see you. Eating is very happy. Eating makes me happy. Duck YouTube. On next summer, you would say just next summer. Next summer, I will be learning about life. Yes. I want to come and see you. Yes. I hate being alone. Yes. Romantica. Oh, okay. Drinking a cup of tea is making me feel so fresh today. Yes. I spend much of my time watching TV. We plan on being attended the wedding. No. We plan on. You got being and we plan on attending the wedding. We plan on attending the wedding. Let's go. All right, let's go relax. That's a different grammar form, Ziad. I like reading English books. I want's making my English. All right, so want, remember Omani, you got to say, I want to. I want to make my English perfect before the end of this year. So whenever you, Amani, you got to remember, when we say want, we want to. I want to. Farad, I remember having finished doing my homework. Yeah. I enjoy dancing. I love playing football. I stopped working to relax. Yes. Please stop gossiping. Yes. Most of these are okay. I'm not sure if you guys are writing these or are you copying from the internet. Win, I'm sorry for... Okay, so for bothering you. You got for, the preposition, bothering you. Yes. I'll start studying English. I'm going to buy a new car. You want to say buy a new car. You got the wrong buy. Helping people can be a great opportunity to become a good person. Yes. I enjoy watching Robin's live stream. Yes. I don't feel happy with leaving my dog at my mom's. Good, Lewis. That's right. Smoking is not good for health. Let's go hiking. Let's go hiking. When? In the afternoon. Let's go hiking in the afternoon. My hobby is reading and singing. Is that true, Reina? Because I want to hear your singing in the WhatsApp. All right. So, guys, I tell you, gerunds, I feel sorry for you guys. But again, the best way to master gerunds, Best way to master any grammar and vocabulary is reading, guys. Read every day as much as you can. Make time every day, 20, 30 minutes of reading. You keep doing that for 1 year, 2 years. You will improve your grammar better than any memorization of lists or trying to memorize the gerunds or the verbs with gerunds and verbs with infinitives. Reading will get you to the end faster. And I didn't even talk about phrasal verbs. There's phrasal verbs, which is already hard with gerunds and infinitives. That gets really complicated. But reading is the solution for all of that. Yunjin, I enjoy listening to music. Right. All right, guys. Now is just the basic Q&A time. If you have any questions, you can continue talking about gerunds. But if you have any other English questions, now is the time to ask your teacher, Robin. I will do my best to answer any question. But if the question is too complicated, I have to pass, because we only have, I'll only give about 1, maybe 2 minutes to answer a question. So if your question requires more than 2 minutes, I'll probably pass. Layla, thank you so much for this lesson. It's very important. Well, Layla, I promised to do gerunds today, but after I started reading about gerunds, I'm like, wow, this is really hard to explain in a live stream. If I was in the classroom, I would focus more on worksheets, getting the students to do a lot of worksheets to help them memorize when to use the gerunds. But live stream is really hard, really confusing. All right, Marunthu, what have you had for dinner? This sentence is correct or not? What? That's an awkward sentence. We would ask, what did you have for dinner? That would be more common, more normal. What did you have for dinner? What have you had? You could probably, if you want to use that, you could probably say, what have you had for dinner? But you're missing the for. That's the best question. That's what a native speaker is going to ask. David, you're a legend, Robin. Thanks for always being supportive. Thank you for your kind words, David. Hee-jung, I will do that. Start from reading English comic books. Yes, read the English comic books. Read English comic books. If you go on to, tell you guys, webtoons.com. You got free English comic books. And this will help you with grammar. Believe it or not, vocabulary. You think, oh, it's childish. No, no, no. If you get into reading English comic books, that will help you guys. If you don't like reading books, just look at comic books, online webtoons. Loving him gave me feeling being painful. Let's see. Loving him gave me a feel. Loving him. I'm going to fix it up, Layla. Loving him. Is this a story from your life, Layla? Loving him gave me a painful feeling. Maybe that's a little better with the grammar. Duck YouTube, your sub is 1,073. Well, subscribers don't matter, Duck YouTube. Yeah, it's nice to get more subscribers, but the subscribe number is not going to keep this channel going. Needs a little better support. Lewis, what's the most beautiful poem in English you've ever read? Oh, Lewis, I read a lot of poetry. I'm not really a poetry fan, so I'm not gonna answer that question, Lewis. I would have to think about it. If I think about something, I'll let you know. So yeah, you pass a lot of questions, not only complicated questions. Oh, did I? If I pass questions, it's accidental because I try to answer everyone. If I miss your question, just ask again. It's because usually I will tell people I passed the question. Oh, Duck YouTube, are you my 1074 subscriber? All right, Farad, my mom told me that my room needs to be cleaned. Yes. So needs to be, you got infinitive, immediately right after having breakfast. Yes, that's correct. Carrie Page, please don't bring politics into this tragedy in which the perpetrator was clearly inspired by my politics. Why does the sentence need in which? Oh, yeah. What do you want to use? So carry in which is a grammar form to connect two clauses, two information, a sentence with two pieces of information. I can't, yeah, Carrie, it would take me a couple minutes to teach in which. I might do that in a future lesson, but right now, Carrie, I can't teach in which. We can't just use, usually it's in which, we don't say which. I would have to check that. I think which might be more of spoken, but we should use in which. I can answer that. Yeah, that's a little more complicated, Carrie, because that's an entire lesson. I might do that for a future lesson. Here, I'll make a note. Thanks, Layla. Need and doing. Need to be done. Which one is more proper to use? It depends on the sentence, Farhad. You see, that's the problem with gerunds. You're asking need plus doing or need to be done. What's your sentence? That's the problems with gerunds. So sometimes we're going to, for a native speaker is going to express themselves need with gerund, and sometimes they're going to be need to be. Although you're busy, you should read. I would say you should read at least 20 minutes a day. I would say that. Although you're busy, you should read at least 20 minutes a day. All right. Thank you, Duck YouTube. All right. Hee-Jung. Diallo. Okay. I'm reading down. Tomorrow, I hope you'll have 1,500 subs. Well, 1,500 tomorrow. That's impossible. I usually get 10 or 20 a day. But subs doesn't mean, you know, there's only, what, 30 people watching? I got over 1,000 people subs, but there's only 30 people watching. Which is good, because I don't want 1,000 people at one time. My head is spinning. That's correct. Maruthu, what is the difference between American English and British English? You asked that yesterday. Didn't you ask the same question yesterday? I told you. Did you leave yesterday before I answered? You have to go watch yesterday's video. I answered that. The vowel sounds and slang. There's a few differences between American and English. How we pronunciation of words. The vowels are going to be different, and slang is going to be different. Hi, Kanji. So, Farah, can you use a article before uncountable abstract noun? A painful feeling? Yes, you can. Fanny, as I know did, use for past, but if I haven't to do, should I use did? Example, why didn't you message him? That's correct. Why you not message him? That's incorrect. You have to use why didn't you message him? Hello, Florin. Duck, can you cut your beard tonight? I could, but I won't. Fairhead has a quick... Yeah, that could be a quick way to think of in which, where. Yeah, that's a cheat for in which, where, but not. Yeah, let's use that. So Fairhead to Carrie. I don't know if Carrie's still here. Grace, I don't have the time to exercise. I don't have the time to. I don't have the time for. So if you're using the infinitive, I don't have the time to exercise. But if you're using the preposition for, I don't have time for exercising, because we're using preposition. I'll go to the barber for shaving. Is that a correct sentence? It's an awkward sentence because what are you shaving? Your head? Your beard? Other parts of your body? I'll go to the barber. I would say I'll go to the barber to shave. I'm going to use a infinitive. And then I'm going to use it with the gerund. Something like that. I'll go to the barber to shave my beard. I'll go to the barber for beard shaving. If you're talking about beard. Well, I'm about 3 minutes behind. Not bad. Has your vacation started? Has your vacation started? That's correct. Has started your vacation? No. Have you started your vacation? Have you started your vacation? Have your vacation? No. So number 1 is correct, and number 3 is correct, but number 2 and 4 are incorrect. Maruthu, do you like British English or American English? Maruthu, if you are anyone watching, if you are still have the idea of American English and British English as your target, you really don't understand English, because English, most people in the world who speak English are not British and they are not American. That is not even the majority of English speakers in the world. So Maruthu, it doesn't really matter if British English or American English is better. They're both the same to me. British English and American English and Korean English and Saudi Arabian English, it's all the same to me. We live in an international world. Grace, he made me eat that. He persuaded, past tense, persuaded me eating that. No, he made me to eat that, you want to say. But native speaker, we're going to cut out the to. He made me eat that. He forced, past tense. He forced me to eat that. All those cases we should use the infinitive to eat. Except the first case. He made me eat that. We would just cut out the 2. He, Rabia. So, yeah, Grace, what's the rule? There's no rule, Grace. There's thousands of situations, and you gotta learn each one. Maruthu, what do you do? I'm a teacher. Where's your question mark, Maruthu? Get a question mark. When will you get married? I don't know. Where's your question mark, Maruthu? Get a question mark. All questions require a question mark. Grace, I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time for exercising. Yep. I always have time to watch your live stream. Yep. I absolutely have time for watching your live stream. Yep. You're using the prepositions better. I'll be asking questions tomorrow. Thank you, Florin. Florin is the Q&A's tomorrow. That's right. If you guys look at the schedule, English Q&A is tomorrow. I want to eat this. Yes. Have you ever been to America? Yes, many times. I've been to America. I've been to all main English-speaking countries except New Zealand. I haven't been to New Zealand, but I've been to Australia and UK. My dog is barking all night. Reina, we would probably say my dog was barking all night, because all night is kind of a past tense. And now maybe it's morning. My dog was barking all night. Grace, how can I learn each one? Reading. Your brain will find the pattern. But you got to give a lot of information to your brain to find the pattern. But your brain will find the pattern of all grammar, Grace. But you got to read. I was cooking all day long to feed my friends. Great. In this time next week, Duck YouTube, we would probably say this time next week. And we need a Y with studying. It's Y-I-N-G. I enjoy reading. It's so inspiring. All right. Good for you, Ziad. Lewis, are Webtoons contributors native English speakers? Yeah, I think they're all edited. If you watch, I don't read all those. I read books. Did I give the right? Did I give the right? I don't know if I put the link again. I don't know if I get the right link. I don't know who's editing the stuff, but I've looked at it before, and the English seems pretty good. So I would say they are edited well. Manirat asks, hello from Thailand. Hello, it's time to sleep, but I'm still watching your live stream. Well, I'm going to finish soon because it's time to sleep for me too soon. Win, you always say to read for speaking and writing. Yeah, read. I'm the reading teacher. Other teachers focus on grammar. There's a lot of grammar teachers. They really, really, really wish students study grammar. But, you know, if you see the books Grammar in Use, which are great books, Grammar in Use, but they're so thick that it takes a year to go through the grammar, right? If you spent that year reading, I'm of the belief that if you spent the year reading books and versus grammar in use, the year of reading books would be more beneficial to your grammar than reading grammar in use. My hobby is swimming. In my free time, I love to swim. Swimming is my hobby. To swim is hard work. Well, the last one, you could say to swim is hard work, but I might say swimming is hard work. But to swim is hard. All those sentences are correct, Grace. Duck YouTube. Have you ever read ebooks? Yep, I've seen ebooks. I'm not a fan of ebooks. I usually like the paper books. What's a really good soap opera in English? Oh, I don't watch soap operas, but excuse me. That's a famous soap opera. I love watching Robin's live stream. Thank you, Layla. All right, guys, get any last questions or comments in? Get them in now. Any last questions or comments? I'm going to finish up. I'm not breaking records with this live stream. I'm not going to go 2 hours. Let's shoot for 1 hour 15 minutes. Because tomorrow's the English Q&A. So if I don't answer your question today, you can ask me tomorrow, and then Wednesday. I'm going to keep the same schedule this week. Pronunciation, topic discussion, games, grammar. Maruthu, I can understand English, but I can't speak English. What is the problem with me? Well, Maruthu, the problem is very simple. You're not practicing enough. You have to practice speaking. You just have to. You can't be shy. You got to, wherever you are in the world, you got to go find foreigner groups, foreigner clubs. You got to join. You got to participate. It's hard work. It's what you have to do. Fanny, what is an unusual answer to what's up? Well, if someone asks what's up, you answer the ceiling or the sky. Lewis, I like this live stream. It feels more interactive than other methods. Yes, Lewis, I agree. I believe that the live stream could be very helpful for people around the world, because a lot of people around the world do not have access to an English teacher. And I'm giving them access to me, and I try to help, but I have my weaknesses. I'm not a perfect teacher on many things. So Lewis, I'm trying to get better teachers here, but I'm glad you recognize the value of a channel like this. Does native speaker make mistake of gerund and infinitive? Sure we do. Sure we do, Grace. I'll tell you a secret, Grace. While I was doing research for the gerund, I took a couple quizzes where we're trying to check. They had some really difficult questions, and I didn't get perfect score on their high-level advanced quizzes. The low-level, I got perfect score. Everything we talked about today, I know naturally, but there was some advanced usages of gerunds. I got a couple of those wrong. Musli Macron Rakimova. She was watched to work in the garden. No, I don't understand that question or that statement. Question. Can you ask that again? Lewis, what is always a good topic for conversation for native speakers? Your job, your family, the weather, Trump. Everyone has an opinion about Trump. Now, Grace, I stopped to work for traveling. All right, you're using, we saw work earlier. Where did we see work? Where did we see work? All right, we saw, oh, sorry, stopped. That's our verb. I stopped to work for traveling. And if you remember this one, we had stopped. And stopped would have two different meanings depending on if we use the infinitive and if we use the gerund. So I stopped to work for traveling. Actually, Grace, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. We would say I stopped working for traveling. And that would mean you stopped your job to go travel. Layla, I want to speak English very well with native English speakers like Robin. Or I want to speak English very well with native English speakers like Robin. Should be like. The first sentence is correct. On Sunday, I stopped to study for go out. Oh, you got duck. So I stopped. No, I stopped studying. So where was it? I lost it now. Let's go back. I lost it. Okay. Now stopped. The usual usage will be a gerund. All right. So yeah, it can be with infinitive, but if you stop doing something. You stop doing. Remember that. Stop doing. So if you stop doing something, I stopped working. I stopped studying. Okay? That's how we're going to use stop. If you stop doing. So I stopped studying to go out with my parents. Why are you answered this? What does it mean? I didn't get it. Oh, Fanny, you asked this. Your question was, what is an unusual answer for what's up? Well, what's up is a slang expression. So what's up means hello, what's new. But the funny answer is you just answer the question directly. What is up? What is up? And as a joke, you can say, if someone asks you, what's up? What's up? If you're inside, you could say the ceiling. If you're outside, you could say the sky. But that's a joke. That's just a joke answer. You asked for the unusual answer. Louis, is there a lot of Canadians living abroad with you? I don't. What do you mean by a lot? I don't know. A lot? No. Louis, which would be a good country to retire? Yeah, I want to know the answer to that question because I don't know the answer. Is your country a good country to retire? All right, Farhad, thank you. Is there any app for reading, guys? There's lots of apps for reading, Shiham. If anyone can recommend an app. Maruthu, I am studying your Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. I want to work in America, so what should I do? Well, you should go... Bachelor's is not enough to work in America. You need to get your Master's in America. So Maruthu, if you could get your Master's degree in America, you have a better chance to work in America. Because just a Bachelor's degree is probably not enough to work in America. Hannah, Robert, did you like to learn poems by heart in school? What is your favorite poem? Did you ever read Lermontov's poems? It is interesting to know, do Canadian students learn something about Lermontov? No, I never heard of Lermontov, Hannah. because my major is English literature. I'm not very good with Russian literature. And I'm just checking Mikhail Lermontov. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of his books or poems. Sorry. I don't recognize anything. Thank you for reading my message and replying to it. Reading and replying to it. Thank you for reading and replying to my message, to it. Duck YouTube. Would you have traveled to another country you tried? I don't understand your question, Duck YouTube. Try again. I stopped to stop. What? Oh, jeez, Grace. You're going to confuse me. I stopped to stop by his house on the way home. Yes, that is possible, Grace. It's confusing, but it's possible. I stopping by his house on the way home. That could. I stopped to stop by his house. In this case, geez, Grace, you're confusing me. I stopped to stop by his house. Well, as a native speaker, I would say, I think grammatically both can work, but a native speaker is going to use the gerund. I stopped stopping by his house. That's what any native speaker is going to say. I stopped stopping by his house on the way home. All right, I'm going to Colombia to live with Louis. Shiham, nobody knows any reading apps. I'm sorry, Shiham. Nobody's giving good advice about reading apps. But if you look in the App Store and you type in reading or reading apps for teenagers, so search for like reading for teenagers. I don't know your level, but start with reading for teenagers in the App Store. Maybe there will be some mid-level readings you could start with. Oh, Duck You Too. Oh. Marutha, do you know World Wrestling Entertainment, Roman Reigns? No, I don't watch the WWE. All right, Grace. Reading app, Bilingua app. Okay, thank you, Grace. Duck, would you like to travel? Would you like to travel? Because we have like, we need the infinitive. I like to. I like to. Would you like to travel around the world, Robin? Duck, I've already traveled many countries. I haven't. Which country are you from, Duck? Okay, Louis, you are very welcome. Hannah, it was always interesting to me, why do we learn about foreign famous people if the students of their courses don't learn about ours? Well, Hannah, I grew up in a generation, Russia was the enemy. So in the 80s, 70s, 80s, that's when I went to school. Russia was the enemy because of the Cold War. So in schools, we don't learn about a lot of Russian culture at that time. Now, probably schools in America and Canada learn more about Russian culture, but at the time I grew up, Russia was not a good friend, so we didn't learn much about the culture. Ziad, I haven't been to Egypt yet, but I will go there January 2019. Hamid, how to improve my English grammar? Well, read. Read, read, read. You read every day, Hamid. You read. You keep reading. You start to love reading. If you hate reading, you change that. You start to love reading. You find what you like to read, and you do a lot of it. When you're reading, you will improve your grammar. Yeah, I've been to Vietnam 2 times. I'm going to finish this, guys. Tomorrow's Q&A again. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. We're done. It's almost midnight here in Korea. Excuse me. Thank you, everyone. And again, I'm giving you all my time. So please, if you can, try to support the channel. If I answered your question, you should be liking this video. That's another way to help me, is you hit like on this video, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow for the English Q&A. All right, good night, everyone. Bye.